Darkness surrounds the stadium. The lights are dimmed to a soft glow. You hear a faint hum of the crowd, distant and almost surreal. Then comes the pitch, fast, relentless, unforgiving. In one instant, a baseball changes everything. It's not just a hit, it's a collision between fate and a dream. One moment can erase years of preparation. 1 second can redefine a life. And for Paul DeJong, that second arrived before the world was ready to witness it. Paul was never the kid with the loudest voice or the fastest swing. He wasn't the one who stood out in the crowd. But his eyes carried a quiet fire. From the backyard of his Orlando home, he would practice for hours. Each swing, each throw, each step was measured, studied, perfected. Where others played, he observed. Where others rested, he trained. Baseball was not just a game, it was a puzzle he wanted to solve. He absorbed it, analyzed it, and improved. He knew that the road to greatness wasn't about flashes of talent. It was about persistence, resilience, and refining one's craft when no one was watching. June 2017 marked the day Paul stepped into a major league stadium for the first time. His first at-bat was electric. With precision and timing, he connected. The crack of the bat against the ball echoed in the stands. The ball soared, a perfect arc over the outfield wall. The stadium erupted. It wasn't just a home run, it was a declaration. By season's end, his stats reflected his determination, a powerful hitter with a calculated approach, a shortstop whose fielding became a trusted asset. By 2019, Paul DeJong had transformed. He was no longer the overlooked rookie. He was a recognized all-star, a force both in the batter's box and on the field. His swing was refined, his instincts sharp, his presence commanding. Pitchers adjusted their strategies, knowing that underestimating him carried risk. Fans cheered, analysts praised, and teammates relied on his consistency. Yet, amidst the accolades and numbers, there remained a quiet introspection. Paul was aware that success was fleeting and that the game's unpredictability could test even the most prepared athlete. One ordinary night, a pitch crossed the plate with violent precision. Paul reacted too late. The ball struck his face, shattering bones, piercing the normalcy of his career. Pain surged. Blood flowed. Silence fell over the stadium as trainers rushed to his side. The injury wasn't just physical, it was a sudden, harsh confrontation with mortality, vulnerability, and uncertainty. For Paul, the immediate question wasn't about baseball. It was simple, haunting. Could he ever return to the game he loved? He realized that injury had stripped away everything superficial, ego, accolades, recognition, and left the core of who he was. A fighter. A thinker. A player who would return stronger, not in spite of pain, but because of it. Months later, he entered a controlled batting environment. Machines pitched slowly, soft tosses replaced live pitchers. Each swing was calculated. Each miss was analyzed. Fear was still present, but it was now a measured companion rather than a controlling force. His body responded, coordination returned, instincts sharpened. Every connection with the ball felt like reclaiming a part of himself. Every successful swing restored confidence, piece by piece. Eventually, Paul faced real pitchers again. Inside fastballs challenged him, testing every lesson learned in those months of solitude. And in that moment, something shifted. His muscles remembered. His instincts returned. His mind, once clouded by fear, now anticipated instead of recoiling. With every pitch taken without hesitation, he reclaimed not just his technique, but his identity as an athlete capable of greatness. The comeback wasn't announced. It wasn't dramatized. It happened quietly, within the walls of training facilities, under the guidance of dedicated coaches, and within Paul's unyielding mind. Step by step, swing by swing, he emerged from the injury not only healed but mentally fortified. Each session was a testament to resilience, each moment a declaration. I am not defined by what broke me, but by what I choose to rebuild. The sun rose over the stadium, casting long shadows across freshly cut grass. The scent of clay and leather filled the air. For Paul DeJong, it was the first time he truly felt the game calling him again. Each step onto the field was deliberate, measured, a silent promise to himself. Not to prove anyone wrong. Not to reclaim glory. But to confront the fear that had lingered for months and declare that it no longer controlled him. Standing in the batter's box, Paul felt the familiar tension of anticipation, but this time it carried clarity instead of panic. The pitcher wound up. The ball cut through the air with unrelenting force. Paul's swing connected, solid, precise, unflinching. The ball sailed past infielders, arcing into the stands. Fans erupted, but the applause was secondary. The real victory was internal. Every cell in his body had reconciled with the trauma. Every swing now carried the weight of months of perseverance. Every hit was proof of a spirit unbroken. Returning to Major League play, Paul's approach evolved. He no longer measured success by statistics alone. Each at-bat was a declaration of resilience. Each defensive play was a reaffirmation of mastery. Analysts praised the subtlety of his game. Fans noticed the quiet confidence in his stance. Yet, the true transformation was invisible to the cameras, a mind unshakable by fear, a body aligned with instinct, and a heart determined to honor the struggle behind every achievement. Paul DeJong's journey offers a lesson far broader than sport. To be struck down by forces beyond control. To confront vulnerability and uncertainty. To spend long, lonely nights rebuilding strength, piece by piece. And then, to rise and reclaim one's place, not as the person he was, but as the person forged in the crucible of challenge. Standing on the field, bat in hand, Paul looks around. The stadium is vibrant, yet there is quiet introspection behind the cheers. He remembers the hospital room, the endless rehabilitation sessions, the nights of doubt and pain. And now he swings, not for glory, but for the affirmation of everything endured. Every pitch he faces is a tribute to resilience. Every run scored, every defensive play, every successful at-bat is an echo of the journey that made him stronger, wiser, and unshakable. This is more than baseball. This is human courage. Paul's story transcends statistics. It is measured in quiet moments, the discipline in practice, the courage to face fear, the determination to continue despite uncertainty. Future generations of players, fans, and dreamers will see his journey and realize, adversity is not an end. It is the catalyst for transformation. Paul DeJong's legacy is not just in the home runs he hit, the games he won, or the all-star selections he earned. His legacy lives in the triumph over fear, the reclamation of confidence, and the proof that a single moment of misfortune cannot dictate the entirety of a life. For anyone watching this story, remember, challenges will strike without warning. Pain, doubt, and fear are inevitable. But like Paul DeJong, the choice remains yours. To step back into the batter's box of life. To swing with conviction. To face what once terrified you. To rise. If this journey inspired you, share it. Tell someone who is facing their own struggle that recovery is possible, courage is real, and perseverance transforms lives. Subscribe for more stories that celebrate the human spirit. Because triumph is not only measured in victories, it is measured in the courage to continue.